Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so when we picture America today, we usually see this massive, modern global powerhouse, right? But to truly get who we are, we have to peel back the layers and explore the vibrant, kind of hidden world that thrived here way before European ships ever even touched the horizon.
Seriously, imagine just stripping away the skyscrapers of New York and all those endless concrete highways. What you're left with is this vast, ancient landscape of endless grasslands and towering mountains. And here's the thing, it wasn't empty. It was already home to millions of indigenous peoples who are living in this incredibly complex harmony with nature.
So it naturally makes you wonder, how exactly did this vast, untouched continent become the nation we know today? And who were the very first people to call it home? To figure out how we went from ancient forests to 13 colonies and eventually to a modern superpower, well, we actually have to travel way back in time to the very beginning.
Part 1. Crossing the Ice Bridge.
Okay, picture this. Around 15 to 20,000 years ago, the planet looked completely different. Totally unrecognizable. There was this massive Ice Age land connection called the Bering Land Bridge, and it literally linked Asia directly to North America. Over thousands of years, these small, incredibly resilient groups crossed this frozen expanse. They were taking the very first steps to gradually settle the vast North American continent.
And you have to remember, this wasn't just a quick trip. This was a gradual journey spanning millennia. Around 20,000 years ago, the crossings begin. By 15,000 years ago, these migrations are stretching all across the continent. And as they spread out, these communities had to adapt to some incredibly diverse environments. We're talking freezing mountains, scorching deserts, powerful rivers, and wide-open plains. Because of all these different environments, over thousands of years, hundreds of distinct tribes emerged, each one developing its own unique language, its own culture, and its own specific system of leadership. It's like a giant puzzle of humanity spreading out.
Part 2. A continent of diverse cultures.
So as you can see, these original inhabitants were absolutely not a monolith. Up in the northeast, you had these powerful confederacies forming really strategic alliances. Down in the southeast, agriculture is booming with essential daily crops like corn, beans, and squash. Out on the Great Plains, life pretty much revolved around the buffalo, using it for food, clothing, shelter, you name it. Meanwhile, in the dry southwestern deserts, these people were brilliant engineers. They were literally developing advanced irrigation systems and building these massive, impressive settlements out of stone and clay. And out on the Pacific coast, those communities became expert fishermen and traders, navigating the waters in these beautifully crafted wooden canoes.
Part 3. Advanced Societies and Beliefs.
Now, one thing that is absolutely crucial to understand is their profound worldview. To them, land was a shared resource. It was something to be fiercely protected for future generations, not privately owned or bought and sold. They treated the earth, the rivers, and the wildlife as sacred parts of life, rather than just raw materials to be exploited for a quick gain. And this deep respect for the land, it was tied directly to their spiritual beliefs, which were so intimately connected to nature. The sun, the moon, rivers, mountains, they all held immense spiritual significance. And get this, even without a written alphabet like we use today, they successfully preserved these beautiful traditions. They passed down their remarkable knowledge of everything from weather patterns to astronomy through music, rich storytelling, complex ceremonies, and vibrant seasonal festivals. They passed the whole shebang carefully from one generation to the next. Honestly, it's a level of sustainable thinking that a lot of modern societies are still trying to figure out today.
Part 4. Trade, Innovation, and Knowledge.
Beyond all that cultural depth, these peoples were just incredible innovators. They had this vast knowledge of farming and medicinal plants, and they moved valuable goods like stone tools, copper, seashells, and hides through these massive, extensive trade networks connecting totally distant regions. And here is a mind-blowing fact for you. Everyday foods like corn, potatoes, tomatoes, cocoa, and pumpkins, they all originated right here in the Americas. Completely unknown to the rest of the world at the time, these exact crops would eventually go on to completely transform the global diet. Just think about that for a second. Think about how much of the entire world's daily food today relies completely on the agricultural innovations of ancient Native Americans. It's wild.
Part 5. A world about to change forever.
So this brings us to a pivotal moment of cosmic timing. On one side of the ocean, the Americas are flourishing independently, right? Hundreds of thriving cultures and societies just doing their thing. But on the other side of the globe, Europe is entering this volatile, ambitious new age of exploration. You've got these powerful European kingdoms fiercely competing for wealth, for trade dominance, and they are desperately seeking new, lucrative sea routes to Asia.
You literally have two entirely different worlds, completely unaware of each other, existing at the exact same time.
And then everything shifts in the year 1492. An ambitious sailor set sail westward across the Atlantic. Now, he truly believed he was simply searching for a faster trade route to Asia. He had absolutely no idea that his voyage was about to change the entire course of world history forever.
Which brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? What happens when an ambitious sailor searching for Asia unexpectedly collides with a deeply established, completely unknown world? From that exact moment, world history would be permanently transformed by exploration, conquest, trade, colonization, and eventually the birth of a brand new nation. But how exactly did that epic collision actually unfold? Well, that is a thought I'm going to leave you to ponder until our next explainer.